H.P. Blavatsky says that spiritual wisdom is the ultimate magic of nature and a material ally, pupil and servant of the Hermes higher self. It's one common vital principle pervading all things and is orchestrated by the perfected human will. The adept can attune oneself to the movements of natural forces in plants and animals in a preternatural degree. They're not obstructions. These experiments of spirituality aren't obstructions of nature, but quickenings. The conditions of intenser vital action are awakened. The adept can awaken these sensations and alter the conditions of the physical and astral bodies, but not of adepts. The spirit of the elements can be brought into play, but one cannot control the immortal spirit of any human being, living or dead, for all such spirits are alike sparks of the divine essence and not subject to any foreign domination. So this is from Isis Unveiled, Volume 2, page 587 to 590. You can read more about what Blavatsky says about this magical life. Rudolf Steiner claimed that Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky, who Gandhi and Martin Luther King read, and Elvis Presley read, I heard, and Einstein, and a lot of people read The Secret Doctrine. But Isis Unveiled, Steiner thought that it was written by CRC, Christian Rosenkreutz, which is an impulse for divine purification and resurrection of the phantom of our past self. And this joins with the Michaelic cosmic intelligence to unite heaven and earth, as above, so below, in a new, on earth as is in heaven, in the sense of the foundation stone as being the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and the cosmic awakening of love and intelligence within a human being to participate with the wholeness of life. Blavatsky gives a summary of the four principles of the Secret Doctrine. Number one, that you could say it's the Father principle in the Foundation Stone meditation, that Steiner further elaborated in a way that perhaps is easier to understand for many of us, maybe not. But she says that the first principle is the absolute, the para-Brahman of the Vedantins, or the one reality, Sat, which is both absolute being and non-being. Again, Steiner represents the first Earth evolution as Saturn, Sat, the urn of Sat, the eternal oneness, primordial darkness that becomes warmth. The absolute, the para-Brahman of the Vedantins, or the one reality, Sat, which is both absolute being and non-being. First there is a mountain, then there is no mountain, then there is. Number two of Blavatsky, which in the Foundation Stone meditation is the second person of the Trinity, the Christos, the Christ, the Son, Logos. Blavatsky says the second principle is the first manifestation. Steiner would say that out of the darkness comes the light. And there was light. So Blavatsky calls it, the Sat, C-H-I-T, the Sat, Chit, and Ananda. Ancient Brahmin India, Sat is the eternal oneness, primordial darkness, and the C-H-I-T, Sat-Chit, is consciousness, a light, deity coming forth by day. Like the Egyptian Book of the Dead was originally called that. And I secretly suspect that the word God was made up later, that it was really deity, is the first manifestation. That Blavatsky says it's the first manifestation, the impersonal, and in philosophy, the unmanifested logos, the precursor of the manifested. The third principle, which is the Holy Spirit and the stillness of thinking in the Foundation Stone meditation by Steiner, we go from spirit remembering to spirit communing or presence seeing to the spirit beholding. So Blavatsky says this third stage is spirit matter, life, the spirit of the universe. Anima Mundi, right? Purusha and Prakriti, spirit and matter, or the second logos activated. The fourth that Blavatsky talks about, which in Rudolf Steiner's understanding is the light that lights simple shepherd hearts, and the light like from the earth, right? From the inside the body up to the magi, the light in the head of the celestial hierarchies. And this is like the light of the heart, see, and the purification of the heart through light and love and life is really through life and love and light, actually, in the sense of the Trinity. When it comes to that fourth step in the Foundation Stone, we have the Christian the Rosicrucian impulse of dying to become, or death and renewal, death and rebirth from the heart. When we fall in love, you kind of die and then you get born again. And we keep doing that and reincarnating that until we get the whole planet in the sense of finding the true life and love and light and peace, joy. So then from the Rosicrucian impulse of the simple shepherd's heart, we have the cosmic intelligence of the Michaelic spiritual intelligence that lights the head, and that in this combination with single purpose, we become Christ-like, Christos, Christ-like in our single will for the good, true, and beautiful. Here in H.P. Blavatsky's four principles, the absolute, the first manifestation of the unmanifested logos, and the spirit matter, life, the spirit of the universe. We have this fourth step of cosmic ideation, Mahat, like Mahatma, Mahat, the hat of Ma, the wisdom, intelligence, cosmic ideation, Mahat, or intelligence, the universal world soul, the cosmic noumenon of matter, the basis of intelligent operations in and of nature. Now, we could also say that there's a Ein Sof, a wisdom of nothingness, that is this first principle of Blavatsky, and that would be the absolute or Sat. And then we're saying that the Father principle is the first manifestation, the unmanifested logos, as Blavatsky here states it as a second level. And the third level, which could be the second of Rudolf Steiner's Foundation Stone meditation. I'm giving you alternative ways of interpreting. The third step is spirit matter, the spirit of the matter, the life, the spirit of the universe. Purusha and Prakriti, or the second logos. And then here, the third step of Holy Spirit, Anima Mundi, is the cosmic ideation, the Mahat, or intelligence, wisdom of the universal world soul. This is the beginning of the Sophia stir, the cosmic noumenon of matter, the basis of intelligent operations in and of nature. And in this case, if we look at it this way, because it doesn't matter how you look at it, as long as you're activated and vivified and resuscitated and renewed and regenerated and awakened to participation with your whole day, your whole life, the whole planet, and the future destiny of the earth. Again, the danger is that we get these words and intellect, but we don't act on it. And the way to act on it is to water your plants and clean your house and help those less fortunate. Help others to help themselves. Give the gift that keeps giving is to help others help themselves. To give the gift that keeps giving is to help others help themselves. To give the gift that keeps giving, we show others the tools and the thinking behind the tools to grow up, root down, participate with the whole one stay, and be a grace and blessing, awakening intelligence through love and truth. So here in Blavatsky's 4 like levels of like kind of awakening a bridge or a fohat, awakening a bridge, which by the ideas of the divine thought of the soul are impressed on cosmic substance as the laws of inner and outer nature. In the quickening and awakening, you feel the fohat as a dynamic energy, the Hermes as a divine dynamic energy of cosmic ideation, or regarded from the other side, it is the intelligent medium, the guiding power of all manifestation, the thought divine, transmitted and made manifest through the archangels, the Dayan Koans, the architects of the visible world. I have another talk on the Dayan Koans and architects of the visible world. Until we can awaken to be co-creative with this as the 10th, the 9 spiritual hierarchy, the 3 sets of 3, we are the 10th or the 4th in that way of counting. There's different ways of counting. Thus, from the spirit or cosmic ideation comes our consciousness soul. From our world soul that wishes to be a spirit self, friends to all that live, angelic or elemental. Our consciousness from cosmic substance, the several vehicles in which the consciousness is individualized and attains to self or reflective consciousness, while fohat, in its various manifestations, is the mysterious link between mind and matter. It's kind of like our awareness, our hermetic dream come true, the animating principle electrifying every atom into life. So Blavatsky has this absolute para-Brahman, beyond Brahman, Sat. And then she has the first manifestation, which we could say either one of those is the Father, the unmanifest and manifest Father. And then the spirit matter, spirit of the universe, Purusha Prakriti, or the second logos, she calls it. That's the Christos, the Son, S-U-N, of God. Steiner refers to it as the Christ. Then the cosmic ideation, the Mahat, or spiritual wisdom, the universal world soul, the cosmic noumenon of matter, the basis of intelligent operations in and of nature. And Blavatsky then adds this thing that could be Steiner's 4th part of the pure shepherd's, the light of the shepherd's heart, the light of the heads of the Magi, and from what's founded in the heart, and this reverse cultus of resurrection from the heart into cosmic intelligence and that interplay. Blavatsky calls it the one reality, that we experience the one reality in its dual aspects in the conditioned universe. Blavatsky further goes on to talk about the eternity of the universe in total as a boundless plane, periodically the playground of numberless universes, incessantly manifesting and disappearing, called the manifesting stars and the sparks of eternity. The eternity of the pilgrim is like a wink of the eye of self-existence, from the book of Dejan, or Chan, that she takes for writing The Voice of the Silence. And the key to Theosophy is this ancient Tibetan, Indo-Aryan, golden sun oracle of Atlantis. She talks about the appearance and disappearance of form in a regular tidal ebb and flux and reflux. The second assertion of the secret doctrine is the absolute universality of the law of periodicity of flux and reflux, ebb and flow, breath, which physical science has observed and recorded in all departments of nature. An alternation, such as that of day and night, life and death, sleeping and waking, is a fact so perfectly universal and without exception that it is easy to comprehend that in it we see one of the absolute fundamental laws of nature and the universe and the inner nature. Moreover, the secret doctrine teaches a third fundamental identity of all souls with the universal oversoul. The universal oversoul, or the one spirit of the universe, is like the Christ or the Christos or the Hermes or the Apollo or the Athena or the Demeter and Persephone. You know, Demeter goes with Hecate and Hermes to go get Persephone with the permission of Zeus. You have this threefoldness from the one that goes down and through the death and resurrection of Persephone, a pre-Christian imagination motif, archetypal reality of the descent and reascent of the spiritual soul, the death and resurrection of the soul, you know. And Blavatsky talks about this fundamental identity of all souls with this universal oversoul of whether it's a Trinity or a oneness or the Christ. We each have to divine the divine within these matters. This is like the religion of all religions that can help illumine and heal the split in all religions. These insights can help renew any religion, all religions, and the religion of the human being as a direct descendant and reascendant of deity. It's the obligatory pilgrimage of every soul, Blavatsky says. The identity of all souls with the universal oversoul itself, an aspect of the unknown root, the causeless cause and the rootless root, the Ein Sof in the Kabbalah. And the obligatory pilgrimage of every soul, a spark of the former, through the cycle of incarnation or the cycle of karma nemesis or necessity, karma, and reincarnation. In accordance with cyclic... See, we don't reincarnate, our learning does. Every day we have to rediscover it anew. Our religion, philosophy, and science, and our sense of self and family. Every day we try to renew our holy, sacred, virtuous connection with all life, with every person we meet, every person we don't meet, all life, mineral, plant, animal, angel, cosmic intelligence and wisdom, and action. This incarnation cycle of necessity, in accordance with cyclic and karmic law, during the whole process. In other words, no purely spiritual Buddhi or divine soul, life spirit, can have an independent conscious existence before the spark which issued from the pure essence of the universal sixth principle, which holds the seventh and all below. No pure divine soul can have an independent conscious existence before the spark which issued from the pure essence of the universal sixth principle, or the oversoul, has passed through every elemental form of the phenomenal world of the Manvantara, all time and space, and every self, acquired We have to acquire this individuality that has gone through every experience of life. Steiner and Blavatsky, by the way, I'm still pondering it. You tell me what you think. They both say that no matter how high the angelic being is, no matter how high or low the intelligence or being is in spiritual or material nature, that everything and everyone either was a human being or will be a human being. In other words, will experience the fourth earth evolution, the fourth way or the fourth step. Whether it's the first earth, the second, or the third, or the fourth earth we're on now with 3 to go, mineral, plant, animal, and human, the Saturn, Sun, Moon, and now this earth evolution. With the death and resurrection of our consciousness, soul, into uniting with all life, Jupiter, brotherhood and community, and finding this higher love that we all wish and strive and struggle for. In the Venus evolution, the 6th earth that we can experience now even. And the 7th earth, which from the Saturn evolution, which is the philosopher's stone, the philosopher's stone is the Saturn evolution, and the elixir vital is the Sun evolution. And the universal solvent of death and rebirth is the Moon evolution. Then the Rosicrucian impulse is the Earth evolution of the circle and cross that awakens with this higher divine intelligence that works from the Mars to the Mercury evolution. For those of you who've been studying, you can follow this. Otherwise, you need to read Outline of Occult Science, Outline of Esoteric Science by Rudolf Steiner, Rosicrucian Wisdom by Steiner, Theosophy by Steiner, The Key to Theosophy by Blavatsky, Voice of the Silence, Her Isis and Veiled Secret Doctrine, Steiner's The Way of Self-Knowledge. These are really important books that you should have in your library. And I think it's really, really important that you consider coming to a place like Mayflower Bookshop in Berkeley, Michigan, so that you can get the right books that haven't been changed by some idiot online, some poor idiot, some cosmic idiot. Anyway, I'm making jokes here a little bit, but I'm also revealing something. So Blavatsky, in this third fundamental principle, after the 4 that I mentioned earlier, the 3 and the 4 make 7, of course. She might have everything backwards, but it's good. Steiner takes it from where we are back up, right? The universe creates us, and then we have to wake up and recreate the universe in a healthy way that is in harmony with the highest spiritual wisdom. So this idea that our buddhi manas, our 6th principle, or the oversoul, it goes through every experience of the phenomenal world in the Manvantara, acquiring an individuality first by natural impulse, and then by self-induced and self-devised efforts, like Odysseus, checked by its karma. And back then, Odysseus was helped by Athena, but now it's Michael. It's my personal individual experience that Athena is Michael for us who are adding Sophia to the mix. Or Artemis. Artemis is another incarnation in the earth of Michael. Michael spells alchemy. The Y is an I. The I is a Y in Gematria, in the Kabbalah, in the Ein Sof wisdom of everything and nothing. The mind that arises between everything and nothing that I teach in my meditation talks. This isn't about following anybody. This is about learning how to lead your life to a higher love and light in life, and get free of samsara and ignorant suffering, and that all suffering becomes wise to lead us to some spiritual experience of wholeness. Healing is wholeness. So Blavatsky talks about acquired individuality out of freedom, first by natural impulse, and then by self-induced and self-devised efforts, checked, of course, by karma, and thus ascending through all the degrees of intelligence, from the lowest to the highest manas. The idea of man, manas, womanas, the womb of manas and the thinking of manas is, basically it's the Rosicrucian and the Michaelic archangel, the higher and lower self purified to awaken the Christ consciousness, the cosmic consciousness, the good, true, and beautiful consciousness that we're all friends and we can stop creating prisons for each other. We can stop creating wars on each other. We can stop trying to put people down so we can feel like we're up. Buddha and Christ and Krishna, all of them, all the spiritual teachers, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Joan of Arc, they help people who are less fortunate. John. They help people less fortunate. They went down to go up. It's a descent and then a reascent. And here Blavatsky talks about ascending through all the degrees of intelligence, through wisdom, from the lowest to the highest manas. This isn't a secret doctrine. From mineral and plant up to the holiest archangel, Dhyana Buddhi. Now remember, Blavatsky and Steiner said that all spiritual beings have to become human, and then they become conscious angels, right? Rather than unconscious forces. There are retarded angels that never made it to the human level, and there are angels that made it to the human level, the fourth level, in the first, second, third earth that didn't get to this fourth earth we're on. They didn't get to understand death and rebirth, and so they're like advanced angels that aren't advanced. So there are angels that are too advanced and not advanced enough, and the human being struggles for that middle way between the head and the lower third, the middle way of the Buddha, the chamber of the heart. The heart spells earth. The heart is the earth that dies and resurrects with the light of heaven. And we can do this with breath work. The Science of Breath by Yogi Ramacharaka can help you, but it won't help you have a mind for it. We need to develop the loving kindness mind. The Bodhi Manas is our eternal self, according to Blavatsky's, our reincarnating ego, according to Key to Theosophy and Voice of the Silence. This is the way to go. The pivotal doctrine of the esoteric philosophy admits no privileges or special gifts. You can't just be given enlightenment. You have to earn it for yourself. Blavatsky says, the pivotal doctrine of the esoteric philosophy admits no privileges or special gifts in man, generic term there, save those won by his or her own ego, reincarnated ego, through personal effort and merit throughout a long series of metempsychosis and reincarnations. This is why the Hindus say that the universe is Brahman and Brahma. For Brahman is in every atom of the universe, the six principles in nature being all the outcome, the variously differentiated aspects of the seventh and the one. The only reality in the universe, whether cosmic or microcosmic, and also why the permutations, psychic, spiritual, and physical, on the plane of manifestation and form of the six Brahma, the vehicle of Brahman, are viewed by metaphysical antiphrasis or elusive and mayavic Maya. All is Maya? For although the root of every atom individually and of every form collectively is that seventh principle, or the one reality, that Sat principle we talked about earlier, the father principle of oneness or primordial darkness, at the best, the warmth for all this. You can have the warmth for wanting to know these things. That's the beginning. Love can connect, but we need the intelligence of the stillness of thinking of that, which Rudolf Steiner talks about. In the third stage of the Foundation Stone meditation, and Blavatsky refers to it within what I've been talking about. So for although the root of every atom individually and of every form collectively is the seventh principle, or the one reality, still, she says, still, this distilling of your experience into the elixir of wisdom, still, in its manifested phenomenal and temporary appearance, it is no better than an evanescent illusion of our senses. Such are the basic conceptions on which the Secret Doctrine rests. And this is in the Secret Doctrine, original edition, volume 1, page 13 to 20, or 42 to 48, or 79 to 85. And I want to say that what I'm doing here is I'm trying to share with you some very high spiritual teachings that sometimes we can only feel with our heart. And then we can have thoughts or glimpses that from the imagination of what's being said or taught, from the inner self imagining how it would work or come to light in the head, we can be inspired, and we can start to learn to intuit the connection to life around us and ourselves. Blavatsky talks about 4 basic ideas that I'll begin with in the next little talk. This is the second talk by Robert Thibodeau, MayflowerBookshop.com on the internet, YouTube channel, Robert Thibodeau of Mayflower Bookshop in Berkeley, Michigan. Bless your heart, and hope to die to all the craziness, and hope to be reborn again every day with a brand new take on how we can all be friends and bring peace to the world and stop the war and the greed. Take the profit out of everything we need to survive and live in harmony and peace. Take the profit out. Share, care, and dare to live a simple life of virtue, and let it speak for itself, come what may. Blessings.